Hey friends, it's Carolyn from Bombolone and Biscotti, and today I'm going to show you the first part of a three-part series of videos. Ultimately, I'm making a stuffed rigatoni dish, which is a little bit fancy version of baked ziti, which is a very common in the Northeast. That's where I'm from. I'm from New York. And this is a little bit different. So I'm going to show you several things, and it would be a ridiculously long video. So I'm breaking it into three pieces. This is the Bolognese sauce recipe that I'm going to show you. And I'm going to show you several things as we go. I'm going to show you, I referenced earlier about your knives, about maintaining your knives. And when people are using their knives and they feel that they're dull, the blade itself may not thoroughly be dull, but what happens is as you use the knife and the edge of the cutting edge is supposed to be like this, what happens is it has a tendency to curve, and that makes your knife feel dull. And what you do is with a sharpening steel. Now, this is not an easy thing to do, but I like to do it. And what you do is you draw the steel along the edge of the knife. I do it 10 times. This is 2. And it just, for me, helps keep the blade in between sharpenings, keeps it okay. And normally I do it after I wash the knife and before I put it away, but I did not. So therefore I wanted to do it on camera for you guys. Now the Bolognese sauce has several components. We've got ground beef, a pound of extra lean ground beef. We've got, I'm gonna use 3 of these 5 Italian sausages cut out of the casing. I've got the passata, potentially more tomatoes that I will puree in the blender, tomato paste, a little bit of wine, an onion, and some garlic and some spices. I've got a bay leaf and I've got some Italian seasoning. So that is what we're going to be putting into this dish. So right now I'm going to start by showing you how to dice an onion. We've talked about this before, and what I've done is I've typically done it off camera because oh, that helped with that steel. Because I want to show you an easier way potentially to chop an onion where you may not cut yourself. And I will do half the onion. I may do the whole thing while we're chatting for you here. Now, when you peel an onion, it looks like it's a lot of waste. Take the first layer off. Trust me, it's not a lot of waste. That first layer of the onion is very tough. It typically will not chop up easily. It will not soften in your dish. It's a waste. So do not even, if you're going to leave the onion in your dish, meaning using it and chopping it, I would absolutely remove that entire first layer. Now what you do is you take your onion and you slice it this way. I make 2 cuts, almost to the root end, like I did with the garlic. I hold it down and I slice this way. I don't go all the way through. So you end up with your onion like that. Then I take the knife and I go down. I go down like 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch maybe. And I slice down and then I cut across. And when you cut across that way, it's already chopped for you. You chop it. Again, let your blade do the work. Chop your onion. This is an easy way to get it done. This is a very easy way to get it done. And there we go. I'm going to do the other half of the onion. I will show you. This is what it looks like, all chopped up. I'll be back and we'll be doing the garlic and the onion. Hey, while I was away, well, you were away rather, I was here. I chopped the rest of my onion and I've been heating about 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil in my pan. And to that pan, I'm going to add the onion. The process of this differs for a lot of people, but I always saute the onion. When that starts to get translucent, then I add the garlic. Then I add my dry spices, or I add my dry spices really with the onion so that they toast and caramelize and brings out the oils in them. Then I add the garlic for like a minute, and then I will add the wine to reduce pick up the fond on the bottom of the pan and to burn off that alcohol before I add the meat. So that's my process, which I will demonstrate to you. So now this is that beautiful onion that I chopped up. It is going in the pan. You can hear that beautiful sizzle. And the other thing that I do that's important to do is season as you go along. You have to layer your seasoning when you're cooking, because otherwise if you wait to the very end to season, nothing really will have enough flavor. So I'm going to grab my salt, once again, my kosher salt, and I left it off. And I'm going to just put a pinch, because I'll be seasoning as I go. I will stir that up. Get it nice and coated. And then now I'm also going to add my spices, my Italian seasoning. And the Italian seasoning, I put, I don't know, trying to look at my notes here. It says 2 tablespoons. I think that's a lot. I will just put, well, maybe not. I put about a palmful, which is about 2 tablespoons. Put about a palmful. And the one thing you do with your seasonings is you crush them as they're going in the pan. Now this calls for Italian seasoning, which I like, and I usually make my own. I get the individual components from a local spice store, and I went the other day not realizing they were closed on Mondays, so I couldn't do it. So I had to get a mix, which I'm not that crazy about because I think they sit on the shelf way too long. But it calls for 1 bay leaf. I'm going to put 1 bay leaf in there as well. And we will stir this. Now, Bolognese is much more of a northern dish. My family was from the south, and we didn't do meat sauce this way. We did the whole components with the meatballs and the chicken and the pork bones and all of that. And that is another dish that I do. But for this one, I wanted to do the Bolognese because I'm going to be layering this in this dish, and I wanted all of that beautiful meat to be incorporated in with this dish. So we're going to let this soften and do its work. And I will prep the garlic. Now, once again, this gorgeous garlic from my garden, I'm going to take 3 cloves and chop them up. And you're going to be a pro at this. You're going to see, again, how I've done the garlic. Now, this calls for, I usually use about 3 cloves, but some of these cloves are giant. So I might do less if I can get them off the bulb, which is good. I mean, it's a tight, yeah. This is 1 huge clove of garlic. I'm going to use this 1. I think that would be plenty. And then I'm going to chop that up. And when the onions are soft enough, I will add, once again, we just bang it enough to loosen that skin and peel off the paper. There's a lot of paper on this one, though. So we may have to go back for a second smash. Okay, yeah, we did. Let's get this guy peeled, and then we can chop him up. There we go. All right. We're getting there, folks. And this is going to be a very flavorful, delicious sauce. Again, root end of the garlic clove. I'm going to slice across like I did the onion. This one I'm going, because it's so thick, I am going to do 2 cuts across. And then I'm going to go down. Try to get my fingers out of the way so you can see. And now I'm going to chop. And this root end was so tender, I just chopped it up. It wasn't hard and woody like other garlic sometimes gets if it's been sitting around. So this one, but, oh, he showed up, so I will remove him. There we go. And I only cook the garlic until you can smell it, until an aroma comes up from the garlic, because otherwise you run the risk of burning it. And I've never browned garlic, and I know that there are folks that do it successfully, but I go from perfect to burned in a second, and then it ruins your dish. So I'm not going to do that. Now I'm going to check on my onions. Oh, they're beautiful. Okay. Perfect timing. We are ready for the garlic. That one giant clove gave us all of this beautiful garlic. And again, I just toss this around for about a minute or two, not much longer than that, just to get the garlic aroma off of that pan. And then I will add the other ingredients. I will add the tomato paste, and you have to cook. See, that's what a lot of people don't know, is you have to cook the tomato paste. You have to cook it until it is a rust color. And otherwise it translates into a raw flavor into the dish. It doesn't really fully caramelize and bring out all of that beautiful tomato flavor. And I like to buy tomato paste in the tube. This is Cento brand. I think I got this at Trader Joe's. I don't know. But I use this because you can squeeze out and then put the rest in the fridge. I never use an entire can of tomato paste. So then I end up freezing it and breaking pieces off, and it becomes a nightmare. This, for me, is the easiest way to go. And I'm going to squeeze about 2 tablespoons into my pan. That's 1. That's 2. Okay, beautiful. And I'm going to stir that around and make sure that that does not burn. Okay, I will continue to cook that until it's ready before I add the wine, and then I'll come back. Okay, this is what the onions, the garlic, and the spices look like after I have browned and caramelized that tomato paste. I am now going to add some of the wine. We will scrape off all the bottom, all of the goodness from the bottom, and then we will add our meat once that is the alcohol has evaporated off. Okay, this is what this looks like. I am getting my, see, look at all of that beautiful goodness coming off. And you want it to be a wide pan so that it can evaporate easily. And you want to get this till it's almost dry. I added my wine. It's almost totally evaporated. I buy these little bottles of wine because I can't drink wine anymore. Hopefully soon. I just had a surgery to help correct this heartburn business I have. And by January, I'm hoping, which is a few months away. But anyway, I used about half of this little bottle. I don't even know how much is in here. I think it might be 8 ounces. And it is now evaporated. And I will add my meat. I am adding 1 pound of the 96.4 lean ground beef from Trader Joe's. And to that, I will add 3 of those Italian sausages with fennel. So we're going to get this meat in the pan and break it up. And my 3 sausage. These are gorgeous. And then another video is I'll show you what I'm going to do with the other 2, how I'm going to freeze them. But I take the sausage and I take it out of the casing. And this could have been a good mise en place. I could have had this already prepared. But I just take my knife and I slice through that casing, and the meat will just pop right out. The meat will pop right out. There you go. So I do that to all 3 sausage, and then I break it all up and cook it until it's browned. You have to brown as you go, because the late Anne Burrell, rest her soul, she used to say brown food tastes good, and she was right, because you're caramelizing all of your ingredients and bringing out the best flavor in them. Okay, I'm back. The meat is no longer pink. It's broken up nicely. It's cooked beautifully. And now I'm going to add the tomatoes. You can do a couple of different things. I chose to use passata, which is something that is very common in an Italian household. It basically is a 28-ounce can of peeled plum tomatoes that has been processed so that it's pureed and no lumps. My mom would have put this in a bowl and squished it with her hands. I have a texture thing. I would have used my gloves, but I would have done it. Or more importantly, I probably would have thrown it in my Vitamix and pureed it. I'm going to start with this. If I need to add more, I will puree these and add them. But this Muti, this is an excellent brand. I got this in Whole Foods. I always try to keep a jar of this on hand. It makes to make a quick, easy tomato sauce. I always have some of this on hand, and it's delicious. I have friends that even use this to make Bloody Marys, to be honest with you. They don't even use tomato juice. So I'm going to add my passata. Okay, this is thick. This is very thick. So what I'm going to do is add about a half a jar of water. Use the filtered water. And also, another reason to do this is that you don't want to leave any of that tomato goodness in the jar. That is going to be perfect. And you're going to cook this down. In fact, there's a little bit more tomato in there. I'll probably add another splash of water. I will show you what this looks like. I may ultimately add more tomato to this because you've got to cook it. It's going to thicken even more the meat, and all of those seasonings will make a rich and delicious sauce. But like I said, I think I need more water. There's more tomato in here, and it's still very thick. This will cook down. It'll concentrate. So you're not going to have watery sauce. It's going to be a delicious, thick, beautiful, beautiful mixture for your stuffed rigatoni. That's what we're doing this for. Now you can use this for anything. You could use this in any case you use a Bolognese. But I'm going to let this cook. I'm going to lower this heat. I'm going to let it simmer for 30-45 minutes. Until the tomatoes are cooked, everything is amalgamated, everything is combined, and is delicious. And then we'll come back. This is the finished product. It has been cooking for about a half hour, 40 minutes. The tomatoes are cooked. It is rich. It is thick. It is absolutely delicious. Let's taste this. It looks and smells incredible. All of those onions and garlic and sausage and beef. It's absolutely delicious. This is going to be beautiful with the stuffed rigatoni that I'm going to be making for you. Again, if you like this content, please like this video. Please follow me. And remember, I'm delightful. Come back and see me again. Thank you.